Yeah, you've been making big calls all week, big fella. This time, it's a couple of big calls you need to make. Who's your top 8? And also, who are your grand finalists? But firstly, your top 8.
Well, number 1, I'm going to go with the Storm.
Ooh.
I think the Storm can win the grand final only because they got 3 or 4 players leaving. I know, and for me, I just think Bellamy will want those blokes to leave on really good terms.
Yep.
Well, you also had Munster as your Dally M.
Yeah.
So, you're thinking just on the back of...
Everyone else is thinking Storm are going to not drop out of the 8, but certainly be a bit further down. But you're gone all in.
Yeah, and I just think what will hurt them is the way they left the finals last year, the campaign. They were humming along nicely, had those 2 injuries at Lang Park. They bought Xavier Coates. I think Cameron Munster's off the drink, which will help.
Okay.
So I'm going to go the Storm.
All right.
Just in front of the Roosters.
Okie dokie.
Mate, the Roosters are going to be thereabouts, but, they've lost a couple of players too, a couple of legends at the club. So, I took that into calculations. But also, there's a couple of young players coming through there, and what you need is a full season for Victor Radley. So the Roosters are going to be second.
Kiri back as well.
Yeah, Kiri's back as well. They could go either way, so he'll be great for young Walker.
Yeah.
The Panthers will be there. The Panthers will be thereabouts, there's no doubt. But the last 2 years, they've been in the grand final. They lost 5 or 6 players. I think Jude highlighted that last week.
Mm-hmm.
You don't just fill those players in overnight. Young players will step up, but sometimes that next level is a bit too hard. Like, they might play well through the season, but there might be drop-offs come the playoffs.
That was interesting when Ivan Cleary went.
Yeah.
When you walk through them like that, that's a lot of
It was
players.
like the first time anyone had actually told him all the players that he'd lost.
Interesting.
Yeah, because
Like, actually, it's a lot,
That's
isn't
a
it?
lot to fill. And we haven't filled it yet. That's what he said.
That's it.
Anyway, keep going.
and then
Number
I'll go
4.
with Manly. I think Manly for me on the back of Tommy Turbo, but they need to find a plan B and a plan C and not just depend on Turbo. If they can do that, they could probably get to the grand final.
So South's drop out of the top 4.
Yeah, South for me, they drop out of the top 4. They're around 5th there because a couple of big players have moved on from that team. But I think Latrell, especially Reynolds, they got that young
And the
halfback.
coach, Bennett, as well. That's
Yeah,
got
they
to
coach
take
Bennett,
a
and
bit
that's
of a-
right. And there's going to be a bit of pressure on Demetrio. Mate, he finally gets to do what he wants to do. Okay,
6th.
6th, I'll go the Raiders.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What's happened to Parramatta?
So a big jump from Raiders last year finished the 10th. So you're having them jump.
Yeah, I like Raiders. Raiders have got a nice mix at their club at the moment. They've got a couple of young players who don't fear anything, like young Savage, and then the halfback from the Titans who's just moved down there.
Yeah, Fogarty?
Yeah, young Fogarty. He's not that young, actually. I think he's 27, 28, but he's a late bloomer. I think he'll complement Jack Whiten well, but also they'll be aggressive through the middle third. If you look at Canberra's forward pack, their forward pack is one that I'd fear through the tournament.
So you got them
Things went awry for them with a few injuries, didn't they? Shans, Nickel Cook.
Yeah,
Cook's
Cook's
bad.
had-
And also the infighting, all the
That's
ponnies,
right.
the halfback.
And then when the wives sort of,
when the wives start tweeting the coach, that's never good.
yeah.
Okay, 7th?
Yep, I'm going to go 7th. I'm going to go the Eels.
Oh,
The
thank
Eels.
God Brad Arthur was about to
No.
pull over.
The
And
Eels are going to be there. They're going to. This is going to be such a tight run race this year too, because there's just that confidence in the Eels whether they can take that next step or two. They showed that they nearly beat Penrith. There was just that penalty there that went against them, and obviously they didn't have the number 9 there, Reid Marnie, so he's moving to the Bulldogs next year. And then in 8th, I know it's hard because there's a couple of teams.
well, you think there's the Newcastle, there's the Broncos, there's the Sharks. You'd say those 3 would be in the mix, and the Titans. So there's 4 teams now. You're trying to fit into one spot.
Yeah.
Who gets it?
I'm taking the Sharks. I just think the Sharks, enough upside there with the Sharks, with the experience and the players that they've brought to the club, and also with Craig Fitzgibbon. I just think they can get the job done. When you've got guys like Dale Finucane, who's a real leader who knows how to win, Nico Hines, a bit of pressure on him there to do well, but also there's a good mix there of Mulatalo. You've got the young fullback there, Kennedy. He's exciting.
Yeah.
Mate, you bring that experience like Finucane and that, and they'll give you confidence. And if they're holding that middle third quite well on that edge, Wade Graham too. Wade Graham's a leader, but I worry about Wade too because he's just
Had a couple of head knocks.
Yeah, so he's part of the Triple M team, but I just think that Wade would want to lead them into the finals. Yeah.
So Knights and Titans miss out.
And the Broncos.
Knights, Titans.
Where do you see the Broncos fitting?
Those 3 are they're all around the 7th, 8th,
cusp.
to 10th. Yeah, they're all around there. It just depends who consistently performs well week in, week out. I just don't know where they're going to go and how they're going to do it at the moment. I want to see what what Reynolds does. Reynolds hasn't played a trial yet. I think he's going to miss this weekend as well. So he's in doubt for that round one, yeah.
Grand finalists then, mate. If you've given us your 8, let's go through it again. The Storm, the Roosters, Panthers, Manly, Souths, Raiders, Parramatta and the Sharks. Missing out Titans, Newcastle, Broncos amongst others. Who are your 2 grand finalists out of that top 8?
Well, we're going back to the Roosters and Storm, baby.
Oh, and who wins it?
Well, for me, it's Storm.
Oh,
yeah.
You're going so well.
I know.
So the Storm are going to win it. Okay.
Yeah.
That is the big call, and they are big calls, aren't they, Jude?
Big calls, aren't they?